Hey guys, this is kind of interesting. Ever since the beginning of 2021, I've been craving liquid foods. I don't know if anybody else have anything like that. But, first of all, my digestive system's kind of squirrely, you know, and I'm often gassy and you don't want to know. You know, gastrointestinal discomfort, you know what I mean? And we had been eating some liquidy type things, you know, because it was cold in January. And like tomato basil soup, right? And I had this butternut squash soup, which is really good. And drinking fruit juices and vegetable juice, you know, like V8. And I was feeling really comfortable with it, so I started craving liquid foods. And I found I was really craving it, you know, like only wanting to eat liquids. And so I decided to explore that. And so where I started was with these Inshore Shakes, right? Now this is not product placement. I'm not being paid to endorse them or anything. This is just the one I tried, and the reason is because it's a popular brand. And I looked into it, and they're marketed as complete balanced nutrition, and they're just packed with vitamins and minerals and nutrients. And this original type here has 9 grams of protein per 8 ounces and 220 calories, right? Now, of course, you can't live off of that. I mean, you'd have to drink a whole lot of them. But I also tried this Inshore Plus, which I like even better. And for a variety of reasons. First of all, you have 16 grams of protein, right, and 350 calories. So they bulked all of that up. And the way they did that, at least the calories anyhow, was they didn't take out the sugar. The originals, they do have sugar in them, but they also have this artificial sweetener, sucralose. And you know, it has kind of a artificial sweetener flavor to it, right? And I also check to make sure they're good for lactose intolerance, because I'm lactose intolerant. Incidentally, they're also gluten-free. They're not vegan. They do have milk and egg proteins in them, so just so you know. I also tried the Inshore high protein ones, and they're interesting because they have the same amount of protein as the Plus, but only 160 calories, and the way they do that is by taking out all the sugar and replacing it with sucralose. And so it had this sucralose-y aftertaste, this chemically taste. I can't stand artificial sweeteners, and so I didn't like it. And anyhow, I'm not trying to lose weight or anything. That's not why I'm doing this. And it just didn't have the calories, because of course, if you're going to be drinking your food, you need to make sure and really keep up your calories. And so that's another reason why I really like the Inshore Plus. And they're creamy, they're delicious. I love these things, actually. I can't say enough good about them. But still, you're not going to be able to live off of those, even though I do drink generally 5 or 6 of those a day, right? Just to keep up my calories. And like I said, I love them. They're delicious. I really do like them a lot. And I feel great. I don't have any of the gastrointestinal issues that I was having with solid foods, right? And since you can't just eat those, like I said, I do have the soups. I eat liquidy soups, you know, like that tomato soup and the butternut squash soup. This is all, I mean, yeah, it has, you know, pulp in it and some herbs and things, but for the most part, you drink it, you know what I mean? Also, fruit juice. I love the white grape juice, and I love apple juice blends. And vegetable juice, like V8. Once again, not a paid endorsement, but I mean, who doesn't know V8, right? It's a good brand. It's delicious. Well, an interesting thing too, I accidentally got the low sodium one. Think, yeah, so what, you know what I mean? But it turns out it is kind of important. You don't really understand how important the salt is in some things until you get the low sodium version of it, and I was just unimpressed with the flavor. It's kind of bland, right? Well, these broths that I also have these broths. You know, this is the vegetable broth, and they're not really big on the nutrition. It's good to just sip on it and to kind of add to your diet, right? And I had the chicken broth. It was real salty. Like if you were to drink a glass full of it, it's like real salty. So what I did was I blended it with this bottle. This is actually, well, it's pretty much gone now, but this was 2/3 V8 and 1/3 chicken broth, which really boosted the flavor, and also the nutrition of it. So that's a neat blend. Another neat blend that I did, see, I take 2 of those plus shakes at a time in this bottle I have. 16 ounces, so I put 2 of them in there. And so that's 700 calories, you know, and all those vitamins and minerals. And one thing I came up with too is these caffeine tablets that I use. I pounded one to dust and dissolved it in there. So with everything else it's already got, it also had the amount of caffeine as a whole cup of coffee, right? Couldn't taste it at all, incidentally, because of all the other flavors and the fact that it was so diluted in there. And so that was a neat blend too. I don't do it all the time, but it's neat to have, especially like at work. I have 2 of those shakes for break, and good to boost my caffeine at the same time. Needless to say, I'm drinking these things rather frequently just to keep up my calories and vitamins and minerals and everything, all of my nutrition, because needless to say, it doesn't stick with you like, you know, like meat and potatoes will. That just sticks in your belly for a good long time. Your body metabolizes liquids a lot faster. And that's another thing. Needless to say, I urinate a lot because of my primarily liquid diet. And as far as the other end of the spectrum, my bowel movements, at first they were real sloppy, right? Yeah, you probably don't want to hear that, but that's how it was. And I suspected it was because my body was getting used to the liquid diet, and it was. Because now they're very small, 1 a day, very small, very compact, generally a no wiper, and I just pee a lot. And so that part is definitely agreeable. Like I said, my whole digestive system is loving living on liquids. And I don't only eat liquids, actually. I generally have 1 actual solid meal a day, like at dinner, like chicken and vegetables, or fish. Like tomorrow for dinner I'm having salmon fillet with spinach. On the weekends, you know, we get like sushi. So even though I do eat solids, I'm generally eating light foods, and I'm really enjoying it. And that's pretty much my video for the day. And let me know anybody else kind of, like I said, this kind of just jumped out of nowhere at the beginning of the year, and so it seemed like a 2021 thing, you know what I mean? Anybody else having a similar experience, you know, drop me a comment, let me know. Until then, I'm going to get out of here. Take it easy.